So, I just wanted to start recording because I've been thinking a lot about trying to shift over to reselling as a job. And hey there. So I'm Gabby from Lil Gab's Vintage, and I've been doing resale in person at vintage markets, online on Depop, Etsy, and eBay, Vinted, and Poshmark a little bit. But anyway, so today we did a thrifting trip, and I got some pretty good stuff. I did put a lot back, but I still ended up with a full bag of stuff to show you. This is one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, so hopefully you guys like it. I think I might have a little bit of a different perspective on what I pick up. I do a lot more style-based stuff than brands. I do still try to look up sell-through rate and kind of what I can realistically expect. But I'd say a lot more of my sales are based on style. And so that's actually why I sell a lot more on Depop and Vinted now and in person at markets than I do on eBay or Poshmark specifically. But eBay, I'll still have some really great sales for, like, those tend to be my highest dollar sales for vintage stuff. I don't just sell vintage. I also sell like just stuff that I know that's really good, high quality. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is one of my favorite finds, actually. This really fun hat. The brand is D&Y. So definitely vintage. If this doesn't sell, I'm so happy to keep it. I think it's adorable. And red, I don't know, I've always loved wearing red. So it's kind of this nice, like, knit. Of course, everything has cat hair, but hasn't been in my house for like 2 seconds and it has some cat hair. But anyway, I might put this at my vintage booth. See how it does. But I got it for $5. I could definitely sell it for at least 15, maybe 20. And like I said, happy to keep it if no one wants it. Next up is a graphic crew neck. These are always a fan favorite. I am in Maine, so this will be good again for in person. I'll definitely list it online in case anyone wants it for summertime in Maine. That's a big season for us. I can expect a lot of tourists coming through and stuff, so I picked this up for $7. I definitely will get at least 21, so my goal is to try to do like 3X or 4X if possible. But I'll probably ask 30 to start and see where we go from there. Next one, this is fun for the vintage booth. This was 75% off, $7. It's kind of like a nightie, but it has the most adorable, sweet little pattern. And this is definitely more of like a niche thing, but I'm going to fix this little bow on the front. You know, we'll find the right buyer, but I could not let this go. It was just waiting for me. This is what I live for. Have to inspect it for flaws, of course, and I try to do that as much as I can, but it has these sweet buttons on the back. I don't know. I just think that's adorable. The tag says Her Majesty, made in the USA. Next, another very cottage core. Hey. All right, I get it. You love me. This is another cottage core Alfred Dunner sweater, size large. Definitely, I think people like to have these sweaters as oversized and super cozy. So I did technically pay up for this. I went like really back and forth. It was $10. But at our vintage markets, I can sell this for 30, like easy. I'll probably ask 35. And easy sale. Next, this was maybe the find of the day. It is a Carly, New York, super high quality, like work jacket blazer. But it's one of those items that you pick up and you can just like tell how beautiful the construction is. It has this really gorgeous lining. And I don't know. I mean, I don't honestly typically sell this kind of stuff, but I might, again, bring this to the booth because I feel like it's one of those things you touch and see and just like, it's super high quality. But comps were pretty high, like in the 100 range. So I couldn't find the exact Carlisle, New York tag. So if any of you know anything about that, let me know. Next, again, kind of for the vintage booth. Oh, sorry, I didn't say what I paid for that, but I think it was $10. This is, again, a vintage find. It was $7. Also waffled a bit on this one. But I just think style base wise, I could see this doing really well on Depop or in person. I think it's like a vintage lingerie pajama top or actually like a nightgown. And I just thought it was really cute and really beautiful. Feels kind of like silky. I don't think it's actually silk. But I'm going to clean that up a little bit. And yeah, I think I can get $21 for this. Next was another vintage skirt. So cute. The girlies on Depop love this kind of aesthetic. I feel like this is really kind of where the trends are going right now, like this kind of dark academia professor type of look. I did pay $7 for that one. That kind of hurts because I'm not sure if I can actually get 21, but I think I can get 18, and you know, that's still okay if it sells fast, which I think it will. It feels kind of like suede-y, which is also very in right now. This, ooh, girl, this is more of like a Y2K kind of coquette vibe, but it's super stinking cute. Here, let me hold it up more. And if this one doesn't sell, I might keep this. You know, I think the hubby will like it. But I did pay $6 for that. And I think this will sell very fast. Let's see. This one was on sale. This was 50% off 7, so $3.50. And that is the range where I start to just like be like, yep, if I like it, I will pick it up, no problem. 7, I do tend to think about it a lot. But like if it's good, it's not a deal breaker for me. I am a part-time reseller right now, so it's not like I need this 100%. Like I can kind of invest a little bit more in my inventory at the moment. But I feel like I'm trying to build up my inventory a little bit so that if I do end up trying to do this a little more seriously, I at least have some in stock already. I need to iron this, but it's a very cute vintage skirt for spring. Kind of like a light academia, schoolgirl, classic, preppy. I think the buttons are very sweet. This one I thought was super cute. Vintage Hula Moon by Jam's World. Small. I think for summer. So sweet. I did get that for $7. I think I could sell it for $20, $21, $24 in person maybe. So this might go to the booth first. Sometimes I will post it online and then I'll put it at the booth because I get daily updates if something sells at the booth. So if something sells, I'll just go and pull it. All right. A couple more things. I kind of went hard today, but I did get to go through the new rack, so a couple things came from that as well. And I think they're at the bottom here actually, so I'll tell you which ones those were. These are Gap maternity overall shorts, and I figured with summer coming and a lot of people in my demographic, which is the largest demographic, I think the millennials and Gen Z together, or millennials, make up a greater population than the baby boomers, or at least equivalent. And so that's a lot of buying power of people who are getting pregnant now, and these are cute on top of it. So I'm actually a mom of a 2.5-year-old, and I've definitely found that maternity stuff that can then be worn like afterward is great. And then like anything that's just super easy for breastfeeding, I would jump on. So I think these will go quick. I bought them for $7. Comps were in the 20s, like 25. This was on the new rack. It's a Moulinette Sur. It's size 8 dress, and that is a Anthropologie brand. So, sorry, it's like a midi length. Just has a really nice summery feel, and with wedding season coming up, I thought this was really pretty. I don't have that many dresses listed right now, so I think this will be a nice addition to my closet. I am trying to get some more stuff up on Poshmark that I think like will do well with that buyer base. So if anyone has any tips for more selling on Poshmark, I've only sold like 2 or 3 things there. Excuse me. But then I've sold 98 things on Depop in the same amount of time, which I started selling in like early December of last year, or maybe late November. But either way, like, that math isn't mathing to me because I feel like most of the people that I watch, their primary selling platforms are eBay and Poshmark. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but help me out. And then I can help you with Depop. Hey, Rusty. This is Rusty. He's my sweet boy. All right. This is a cool top that I found on the rack of like putaways from people who tried things on. I actually got this maybe for my husband. He is a carpenter and works outside and like loves all things outdoors, corpcore, utility type of style. So we'll see if he wants this. If he doesn't, then I will list it. And I know that Cool, or however you say it, does very well for me. So I got that for $7 as well. I did get a lot of red tags, which I think red and yellow were like the new colors for Goodwill. And then green and blue were on sale. Blue was 50% off and green was 75% off. So I tried to find as many things as I could in those sale colors, but if I like something, I'm not really, at this point in my reselling career, gonna let it stop me from getting it. Because, like, I more want to learn, I guess, what sells. And then I do plan on going and selling more at, sourcing more at, like, the bins and that kind of stuff when I have more time. All right, this actually was a sale item. So this is a Charter Club, 100% cotton, I think it's vintage jacket that I thought was very cute. It's an XL, and it was 75% off $10. So I have had really good luck. I think like these kind of boho-y, like more kind of exciting patterns do really well with online resale because, you know, they look good and catch people's attention in the photos. It's a good size for resale, so I'm not sure why nobody picked that up, but I thought it was cute. Okay, we are almost at the end. I have like 3 more items. So this is a Fanini small linen shirt. Today, when I was watching a couple YouTubers, I learned the words login look and artwear, which, hey, cat, stop. All right, everyone's getting hungry and I gotta go pick up my daughter from daycare in 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna speed through this, but this was off the new rack. I thought it was perfect for spring, perfect for a more mature, artsy buyer, but I thought beautiful, $7, linen, can't go wrong. So that I think will sell for $40, $30 somewhere. I didn't look up comps for that one, so I'm not exactly sure, but I'll put it up on the screen if I figure it out before I post this. Still learning how to do all this. It's my first video, so bear with me. But this is a t-shirt. I found it in the women's section for Chelsea football. Honestly, could not find if it's actually vintage. I mean, it's like double stitch and didn't have like a side seam, which I thought was weird. Although maybe for a t-shirt that's normal, but I don't think it's vintage, but I felt like there was probably enough of a following for Chelsea football that I thought this will sell. So I'll report back, but also didn't have a tag, which I thought was strange, but took that chance for $7. Woo! Girl, I don't know if that was the right choice, but... And then the last but not least pull of today was this kind of like fisherman style cable knit J. Crew sweater. It is marked large, but I don't know if it shrank or it was like a kid's large because I'm a small. I'm 5 feet and I feel like this would almost fit me. So I'm definitely gonna take measurements and, you know, describe that it does not feel like a large, but I know I sell a lot of these kind of fisherman type cable knit sweaters in person. And I think this will do well. Timeless look that is also very on trend. Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't think I did this one. This was also a really good find off the new rack. It's a vintage Columbia canvas jacket. Kind of feels like one of those barn jackets, barn coats. People obviously look for those. This is one of those that I know my husband will love if it doesn't sell. So I just have to keep it away from him until I figure out if it's going to sell or not. But I think it's going to sell. So I got that for yellow tag, $7, which for a jacket at my Goodwill is actually not that bad. All right, guys, thanks for looking. As I mentioned, I got to run, deal with life. And yeah, I hope that this helps some people. I know that I find it's really fun to look at people's hauls. And I don't know, I just love YouTube, and I love seeing what people get and like getting jazzed about, reselling and recycling clothing. So from me and my kitty cat and my puppy dog, that's all for now. To be honest, I kind of feel like I'm playing the part of a construction estimator, and I can do it, but it doesn't really feel authentic to me and what my true skills are, which I do feel like hunting for vintage stuff and selling it, kind of being like a broker for vintage stuff is like perfect for me in so many ways. And not just vintage, but just like high quality stuff that someone decided to get rid of and now needs a new home. Like, I just love being the person that finds the new home for the beautiful object. And I like working by myself. I like hustling for my own motivation and not like feeling like I'm being kind of at the whim of like my boss or my manager, like waiting on people to make decisions, or I don't know, like working on projects. I like the scale of reselling. Like, it's manageable to do it by yourself, but you have to like really work hard and grind if you want to be successful at it, which I feel like is perfect for me, because like I am my biggest critic, I'm my biggest motivator. I just like to hustle, and I like working on by myself, which is kind of like I moved from business admin. I was like an office manager working and interfacing with people all day, and I like just could not do that anymore. And so I moved to estimating, and I was so much happier. I am so much happier because it's like a much more insular job where you just work like one-on-one, me and my manager, or like a lot of the day I'm working on my own, and I love that. But like, I don't know, I've just been doing this resale thing on the side to try to pay for daycare, and that's how it started. I was like not able to keep up with my expenses and daycare on top of that, and so I was like, actually one day we were on vacation, I was watching American Pickers, and it like lit something inside of me. Next day we go to a thrift store, and I'm like, I could do this. Like, I would love to curate a collection of vintage or, semi-vintage things and just hunt for things that still have value, or like maybe even have more value because they are old, and they have quality. I don't know. Now I'm going around in a circle kind of, but like, I just feel like my intuition with things has not led me wrong. And the only time when I get myself into trouble, when I start like falling into a really depressive state, feeling stagnant, feeling like just not myself, like having a lot of kind of imposter syndrome feelings, like, and it's not quite imposter syndrome, because I think imposter syndrome is when you're trying to do something that might be a little bit out of your league, and you have to feel that in order to grow. But what I'm describing is more like just feeling truly outer body, like not yourself. And when I'm feeling like that, I'll stay in that because I feel like I have to, like it's a safe zone, like I need to pay my bills, I'm responsible. But when I push myself and when I take the leap and do something scary, like 100% of the time in my life, it's been worth it. And I looked back and was like, thank God that I did that. I'm so much better off. I don't know, like, I think the scary part is that in order to try to make back the income that I'm making at my job right now, like, the math feels a little bit scary. Like, I would have to be selling 2 or 3 times what I'm selling now. At least, you know, and like it is the type of business where you really have to turn things over quickly. And of course, with the economy now, like, that's not looking great. People maybe are buying a little bit less with their disposable income, or if it's going to gas. But like, people are still buying, you know? I think it's fun, and I think that compared to buying new, like used clothing is still the economic choice. So if someone's going to buy anything, like they would be more likely to buy on something like Depop or eBay or Poshmark. Like, right? I don't know. Those are my rambling thoughts after a really beautiful and intense yoga class where we focused on our chakra, like the third eye chakra. That was supposed to, you know, awaken your enlightened thoughts. So maybe it did do that, you know? Maybe I am having a clarity moment amidst all the fog. And I don't know. Like, I'd like to think that I'm brave enough to make the leap. There's just feels like there's a lot at stake. You know, like a house and paying for a child and breakfast sandwiches. All right, I think that's all the ramblings I have for now, but hope you guys follow along and figure out what I'm gonna do along with me, because I think, you know, it could be exciting, just like this video with this steering wheel in your faces.